opening statement.
A good win. Appreciate the fans that came out, and a lot of stuff we got to get better at, of course. But a team that I thought we did a pretty good job preparing for. Our guys had respect for this opponent, with them having accomplished what they did the other night, forcing overtime at Georgia Tech, had a chance to win that game. They run good stuff, bring a lot of physicality, have bigs that can score on the interior. Have a pick and pop. They hit a three against us, of course, hit three the other night. Thought our guys did a pretty good job with 1 day prep. Both teams had 1 day prep, but I thought our guys handled it with maturity. The biggest positive from the game for us is the fact that we started off shooting the basketball so poorly. I mean, we just couldn't get one to go, and that's for another conversation. But the fact that we kept flying around, forcing turnovers, and applying pressure, and just playing really hard with shots not going in is a pretty good sign. So we'll continue to reference that moving forward. Day off tomorrow, and looking forward to that next day's practice, 2 day prep for Morehead State.
All right, questions?
You mentioned the defense. What has impressed you through 2 games about how you guys have played on that end, and how big it was for you guys to win? I mean, the shooting issues tonight, you still win by 65. I mean, how big the defense was?
Yeah, we've got speed, we've got switchability. We just fit right in with our league. I mean, I don't know how elite our defense will be. We've got a ways to go, but it's the best defensive league in the country, and we look like a potentially very good defense, of course, these last couple games. Got a defensive rebound a lot better. They still had 7, 8, 10, 12, who knows, we'll look at the film closely. Really good looks off of stuff we've got to get better at. It's something we'll continue to talk about. Our physical exertion is really high with us, with our offensive tempo and our defensive extension, and we've got to get better at fighting through that mentally, and our communication's got to be sharper, louder, more clear, earlier. Had some miscues there, and just also understanding when we're changing some things up, just all being on the same page with as many guys as we're playing, as much as we're subbing. But the physical effort is that's something we can hang our hat on for sure.
Coach, when do you obviously the 3-point shooting, like when do you worry about that, and what do you think is contributing to the poor shooting from
Yeah. I've got confidence that we shoot it better than that. We just do. I mean, 8 of 40. We shoot it better than that in practice. We go against each other, and we practice at a pretty high level of intensity, as do most teams at our level. It's what's needed to get better, of course. And with our depth, you can imagine that there's a healthy level of intense competition in our practices, and we shoot it better. I think it has more to do with pressing a little bit with the ball in our hands, playing fast. It's early season. We're playing in front of our fans. They're real games now, and guys trying to establish themselves as opposed to us establishing ourselves, and taking our shot. Something you haven't heard me say for a few years. In the second half, I thought we did a better job of taking our shot, and it went in more, of course. But there's still some really good looks. Smurf comes to mind. Smurf really shoots the ball well. But he's taking good ones. I'm going to be super aggressive. He actually passed up a couple that I wish he would have attempted, but I'm not worried about it. We shoot better than that for sure.
On that note, how much of the 3-point shooting early becomes into that mental game when you start off slow?
I think our guys will be fine, especially the way they fired it early on. We took some C shots, again, where I thought we were pressing. We took 3 or 4 in the first half where we had, whether to my right or to my left, would have been an A shot with an extra. We've got to make those passes. We've got to take the shot that the defense dictates, and that's going to take some time. We're also huffing and puffing with what we're doing defensively. It's a little bit different, and some of these guys, really most of these guys, hadn't played this style, and we'll see. This is obviously a mid-major opponent, and obviously an opponent that we have respect for, but we've got to get better and continue to clean some stuff up with the switching and with the pressing and with the rotating if we're going to effective against high major teams.
About halfway through that first half, Cannon had like 7 points in about 2 minutes. Just what it is about him that allows him to get in those rhythms and what that provides you guys.
He's really talented. I mean, that's where it starts. Cannon is 6'9", shoots it as easily as anyone that I've coached, with a really quick high release off the catch, off the bounce. And he's an underrated playmaker. You know, he made a great pass in transition, which might have led to our first or second three made, if I'm not mistaken, off the bounce. You know, he's got an ability to bust out when he gets defensive rebounds and lead the break. He's really skilled, and he's trying to complement that with improving his motor, playing a little bit harder, and applying pressure defensively, getting on the defensive glass, getting on the offensive glass. Thought he did a pretty good job rebounding today. We've got to get him in a stance consistently, and get him to stretch himself in those other areas. But with that ball in his hands, he's very talented.
Just the way that Jake kind of just energizes the whole place whenever he's going up with some of these dunks, and not just the fans, but you look at your players too. They really kind of gets them going when he gets in that kind of little zone.
Yeah. I don't know how many times that we'll have 1-on-0 fast breaks, you know, or 2-on-0, 3-on-0 fast breaks, 2-on-1s. We had some good numbers off a lot of turnovers that we forced. When we're playing teams, you know, at our level, you hope that we fall into some of those dunks. But Jake's, I've said this pretty consistently, his attention to detail, his basketball IQ, his respect for work, for taking coaching from staff and teammates has been really impressive. And his motor, he plays hard. He plays with joy. He enjoys competing and getting better, and he's going to continue to do so.
Ending the game on a 23-0 run, how promising was it to see that defensive success late, even though you did make some substitutions?
That's what you want to see. Like those last couple media timeouts, as you've been doing it for a long time, like I have, said it a couple hundred times probably. Like guys, we've got to, whether it's as an assistant coach or head coach, let's finish the right way. Let's not worry about the scoreboard. Let's get better. And those guys embrace that. Everyone that played with that sizable lead in the second half played pretty hard, and that's what it's got to be for us to continue.